Hello everyone, and welcome to my live stream. I am Alice of KHR Arts, and tonight we are doing the live drawing. Yay! So, we are still working on this, y'all. Oh my goodness, this drawing is massive. We're finally on shading. We've already done so much shading, as y'all can see. I mean, it's just looking gorgeous. I'm so excited about this piece. I can't wait for it to be done so I can just share it with y'all. Because this is a redraw, like, it's extra special for me because I drew this so long ago, and just to see it get to this point with my skills is just so beautiful, and I'm so proud of it, and I'm so excited to draw this with you. Let's dive right in, y'all. It is Saturday night. I am so excited. How is everybody's night going? We had fun last night having our first Friday live stream, our official sub Minecraft night. We've got a really great start, and I'm looking forward to just having a blast playing with y'all on there. I mean, I'm so looking forward to seeing what y'all build with me and just all the fun stuff that we can do. So I'm really excited for that. Wow, this is obnoxiously bright. There we go. That's probably a bit better. We don't need it to be that bright. Yeah, that's better. There we go. We need it to be a highlight, not, oh my god, she's like got a reflector on her forehead. There we go. That's what we want. This is the part where I take it from being a drawing to like being this living piece where everything starts to really look real. And I love seeing that transformation. This is a really fun part of the process for me. Especially with like shading eyes, like I feel like that's really where the drawing just starts to look like, wow, they're alive, like it's real. Just love that part of the process so much. It's always so much fun for me. And I think that's the important thing. As long as you put forth your best effort, that's really all we can do. And that's why with my work, I never compare my work to other people's work. I used to do that when I was a lot younger, especially when I was in high school, and I realized how damaging that is to compare your work to other people's work. And that's different from getting inspiration from other people's work. That's a totally different thing. When I'm looking through my social media feed and I see a bunch of really awesome stuff by other artists, so it is very motivating for me to be like, wow, look at all this great stuff they're working on. It makes me want to get up and start working on stuff. Absolutely. It does give me that little kick in the pants that I need sometimes to be like, you know what? I should go do a thing. I should go write a thing. I should go draw a thing. That's totally healthy. Absolutely. I think that everybody should have people in their community. It's really important to have other people that you look up to and you're inspired by their stuff. But comparing yourself is something that I used to do a lot in my high school art classes, and it was really discouraging. Yeah, I mean, sometimes it was motivating, but it really was more harmful than it was helpful. And what I would do is there was this girl in my art classes in high school, and she was the valedictorian of our art class. And yes, that was a thing at my high school. So my high school had a tradition of senior year, all of the artists had their own gallery. At the end of every year, they had this art fair type thing where all of the students, freshmen through senior, would have their art displayed all through the halls of the school, and like all the students and the teachers and the parents would come and like look at all the artwork. Freshman, sophomore, and junior year, you only had like one or two pieces selected, and your stuff was posted with like everybody else's stuff in your class. But the seniors were given their own art gallery for that event. So like we were given this separate room. It was a whole room that was just for the seniors' work. And by that time, once you were a senior, if like in the art classes, that there were very few seniors that were in the art program at my high school, because most kids would take like one art class just to fulfill the art credit for graduation. And most of the time they would take it like about freshman or sophomore year usually. There's very few people who are actually like in the art program to like be artists. It was definitely definitely they didn't need like a giant massive space for all of that artwork for the seniors. I think it was only, I want to say it was something like, I think there was like 15 of us that were in that room, and we were all given like a certain amount of space. They basically put tape on the walls where they're like, okay, here's your box of space, and you can put whatever artwork you want, all the artwork you want in this space. This is your space. And there was always a valedictorian of the art program, and they got an entire wall for their art. That was like their honor that they got, and it was like specially featured, and they had a little sign saying they were the valedictorian. And I was not jealous of her because holy she was talented as y'all. Like, no contest. Absolutely no contest. She was on a whole other level, y'all. Like, when I tell y'all about how I'm on a whole other level with my writing, and I tell people don't compare yourself to me because I'm in like crazy bananasville for like the level that I'm at with my writing. She was like that with art, 100%. That was her. So I was not jealous of her. I didn't feel like, you know, that should be me or anything like that. No, 100% deserved, completely okay with it. But I did compare myself to her work a lot, where I would look at her work and then look at my work, and I'm like, my work looks like garbage compared to her. And it's like, well, of course it does, because she's the valedictorian of the art class. Of course my stuff looks like garbage compared to hers. But 18-year-old me, of course, couldn't really process that kind of thought. All I saw was, wow, my artwork is garbage compared to hers. And, you know, that kind of thinking, it's not helpful. It's not productive. You know, it doesn't do anything to help grow your work. Obviously, it took me several years to get out of that kind of mindset of not comparing my work to other people's work. And there are some times where I still do that, where I'll still look at somebody's art or something and be like, wow, they're so talented. I really wish that I could draw like that. I wish I was that talented, but I don't let it get me down. I don't let myself drag my work through the mud and be like, well, my work sucks. I do have those moments sometimes where I'm like, wow, I really wish I could draw like that person, but I don't dwell on it. Because that's when you start getting bad thoughts about your own work, and that's just not productive. Let's see. Yeah, it would be more like that. Like underneath it. Yes, like this. We're just gonna have to do a bit of erasing. It'll be fine. Yeah, this is a big part of shading, is just figuring out the directionality that shading is supposed to be in. Took me a lot of years to be able to like so quickly kind of eyeball a drawing and be like, yes, this is where this goes. That is exactly how that is supposed to be. This is not a skill you just develop overnight. This is something that takes a lot of practice. And you know what? I'm going to do my little trick that I learned. Bam! And bam! Straight lines. I totally accidentally figured that little trick out too. So in my art program that I use, it is a Japanese art program called SAI, S-A-I, and it's a very basic drawing tool sort of program. I like it a lot better than using Photoshop or Illustrator, and the reason for that is because, okay, that's as good as that's gonna get. Even though I'm an artist, I really struggle to draw straight lines. This is what years of caffeine abuse will do to you. It makes drawing straight lines very difficult. So yeah, so I like it because it's a little more focused on actually digitally drawing. So I use a Wacom tablet, and I am literally drawing this by hand. There are very few like tricks, like computer tricks going on here, other than that I accidentally learned how to do that little trick with drawing straight lines, and of course being able to use the undo button. It's one of my favorite buttons, y'all. But other than that, like, this is pretty much the same way that I would draw a drawing in real life. Whereas Photoshop and Illustrator, there's a lot more like computery stuff going on, and while I am trained to do that stuff, I know how to do that stuff, it's just not how my brain works when I'm working on my art, like working on an art piece. For me, like, graphic design and drawing are like two very separate parts of my brain, and I can't really put them together. It's two very separate skills. It's like we have to work on one and then work on the second one. They're not a thing I can do at the same time. But I totally accidentally onto this little drawing a straight line trick with shading and stuff that back before I have a full keyboard now. I have the Razer Widow keyboard, which I bought because I do so much gaming now on my live stream. Before I just I would have my hand, this hand on my drawing tablet, and I would have this hand on my laptop and have my hands on the hotkeys that I use most frequently for this. So the undo button, and then when doing the line art, the escape button, that's the cutoff for the line art tool, so it just doesn't keep going as I click. And I accidentally touched the shift key with my pinky finger, and I realized that doing that creates straight lines. So yeah, that was a fun little accident there. Being able to figure out how to draw straight lines in this program really helps take my shading to the next level, just making it more crisp and accurate. It's another one of my words that I like, crisp. Such a good word, y'all. Crisp is a good freaking word. So for those of y'all that aren't familiar, I talked about this a lot when I was doing the drawings for my synesthesia poetry collection. I have synesthesia. Sheer pink curtains. Oh god, I don't know where I am, y'all. Oh god. Oh, that scared the out of me. Oh. Oh wait. I'm very confused. What is happening? Aha! That's what I want. There it is. Okay. Problem solved. Robin Maston, LOL, I didn't mean to startle you. That's my gig. This is not really doing much here in terms of shading. Oh, it's because I'm doing it on the wrong layer. Well, that explains a lot. Oh, there we go. That's what I wanted. That shine. There we go. That is what I wanted, y'all. You know, it helps if you're on a layer that actually has opacity. That, wow. Durr. I will do another zoom out for y'all so that y'all can see. Here we go. This is where we're at right now. I'm not sure if this is what this thing actually is. It's based off of a thing that I found when I was Google searching for stuff, and I just liked the way it looked. I don't know what it's actually for, but I decided it's for wine because you know what? If you try hard enough, anything is for wine. So you can make any container be for wine if you really believe you can. I sometimes run into this problem where I'm drawing a line and then I hit the bottom of my tablet and I'm like, oh yeah, this is not enough surface in order to do this. Whoops. And there we go. Yay. Did I do it on here? No, I did not. How did I miss that? How did I do that? Here we go. Ah. Oh my god, that looks terrible. Okay. And bam. Perfect. Yay, it's so shiny and gossamer. I love it. All right, let's do something really fun, y'all. Let's add some sparkles. Y'all know I love me some sparkles. Can you sit nice, please? Thank you. All right, let's take a look at how this looks. Ooh, I like it. Oh, it adds that little sparkle. Oh, I love that so much, y'all. What do y'all think? Adding a little bit of that sparkle to the little curtains here, giving it some texture. Oh, I really like that. I really like that a lot. I sometimes bounce around on different objects with the shading, keep all the colors together. Oh, and the curtain pulls too. Gotta do that. Get all this shading in order. Oh my god, what is happening with this? This should be in front of that. All right, hold up. Gotta do some line arting here. This is a problem. Here we go. Because that decanter is definitely in front of that curtain pole. Got that fixed. I don't know what happened there. Oh, I just love that glass, y'all. It looks so good. Looks so good. And as y'all know from my Minecraft, I love glass. I love glass. And I love to draw glass. I just think it's so pretty. It's so shiny and pretty. I don't know. I like glass. all of this outlined with proper shading. Catching these last details, that's always important. It's also a big part of the shading process for me, is just catching those last little details, just making sure everything just flows really well, everything makes sense in the drawing. Like, that's a big part of this process too. The like last quality control kind of check, I guess you could say. Got a lot of work I gotta do tomorrow. I still haven't finished my novella for the submission. Need to do that. I'm definitely less than pleased with myself with being behind on that, but I'm also trying, that's one of the self-care things that I've been trying to work on lately, is not beating myself up, because I am a very busy person and I have a lot on my schedule. So when stuff kind of falls off of it, just trying to pick myself back up and be like, okay, we got to work on this thing, instead of dwelling on, oh my god, haven't finished this yet, sort of thing. So that's one of the things I'm going to be working on tomorrow. And I have a couple of other submissions on my plate. We'll see if I can get to them. I've kind of, because it's the middle of the month, we'll see how many of these submissions I can knock out for April, because that is a big part of working as an author, is submitting not just novels to publishers, but also submitting like short stories and stuff to other kinds of publications, because you also get paid for publishing stuff, or sometimes you don't get paid, but you get like a prestigious credit that you can put on your resume as a writer and point to, yeah, I got published in this publication, or I got this award, whatever have you. So it's just important to keep up that balance as a writer, to keep submitting work, creating new works, all that kind of stuff. So I've just been trying to keep on track with that. And my interview with CSMS Magazine dropped on YouTube yesterday, so that was fabulous. I got to watch that and it looks really, really good. I really like it because it's not just like a straight interview. He actually took the time to add in like some other photos and videos of me and my work into the interview, and edited certain parts of the interview just so that it flows a little bit better. So it's not all the things that we talked about, because we talked about a lot. Like, that interview went a bit longer than we were both expecting, but like in a good way. We covered a lot of great stuff, and I'm really proud of that interview. So yeah, be sure to check that out. I posted it on all of my social media, so y'all can find it there. And there's like an accompanying article with it as well, just kind of a write-up, a short little write-up about the stuff we discussed in the interview and about me as an author. And all that kind of stuff is just really important. Working as an author is getting your stuff out there, putting yourself out there with interviews, real big balancing acts. We have one more. Oh, it's too far away. It's too far away, but we do need to shade. Oh, this isn't shaded at all. I think I missed this one. Whoopsies. My hair definitely requires quite a bit of maintenance. I think it's definitely up for grabs whether it's more expensive for typical women who color their hair, or for like the cost of the maintenance of my hair. I think it's a pretty close race there. So I do use some pretty high-end hair care products for my hair, but I've never had my hair dyed or highlighted or bleached or anything like that. And I don't plan to. I have no desire to do that. Just no thank you to all of that. So we're on layer 17. Better remember that. And layer 17. There we are. Excellent. All right. Now we're going to do some highlights. Highlights on the drawing, not on my hair. Yeah, that's better. Okay, let's go back to the color palette and fix that. We're not color picking the wrong color. Shading is like my meditation. That is how it makes me feel. Love how much easier this is. I used to struggle so hard trying to do these straight lines on my drawings, and I'm just like, bam! This is so pretty, y'all. It's looking beautiful. Tassels are also really fun to draw, y'all. I don't know why. They just are. Just love drawing like details like this. It's really fun for me. You know, it has always been a thing for me that a lot of the aspects of my art is simply because I like certain things. Like, I like certain colors, I like to draw certain types of things, I like to draw certain types of details and stuff. Like, most of my artwork is just kind of like, well, it makes me happy and it's pretty, and that's kind of it. There are some places that we need to do the shading on that I neglected, so we will have to go back and do that. I'm seeing that now. These little details, this is what really will bring a drawing together. Yep, we got some little details here. Brian, snow in 2 days, not good. Oh, gross. I knew about the cold weather coming. I didn't know there was snow coming. I'm not cool with that. Thought it was spring. Not supposed to be snow. We already had snowpocalypse. Like, y'all, when snowpocalypse happened, I didn't leave the house for like a month and a half. Brian, wait a few minutes, the weather will change, right? That's Chicago for you. If you don't like the weather, just wait a bit and it'll change. That is definitely accurate. Brian, garage sales, bought Bob a full-size skeleton. Oh my god. You bought a skeleton? What are you gonna do with that? That's crazy. Is it real or is it like a replica? Because I know that they do have real ones out there, like people who've donated their body to science and stuff. It's a little creepy. Like, I am an organ donor, but I'm not so sure about donating my body to science. That seems just a wee bit creepy for me. Brian, he will be my friend in my YouTube studio. Oh my god. I love that. I can so see that. That is going to be so funny. You are so silly. I love that. Brian, perfect replica was owned by a physical therapist. Ah! Excellent, excellent. Well, it's good that it's a replica and it's not real, because that would be just a wee bit too creepy. But that totally makes sense that you got it from a physical therapist. Brian, I'll let him stay with you when you come over. Hey now! Hey now! Don't be mean. Don't be putting a skeleton in my room. Oh, y'all are so goofy. Y'all are so goofy. No, he is not going in my bed, Brian. Do not put Bob in my bed. Oh my god. You are terrible. You are absolutely terrible. Oh my god. And that's a big thing that I miss in general with like all my friends with the pandemic too, is just all of our stupid shenanigans. Ugh, I can't wait to be able to do all of that kind of stuff again. Ryan, you can come down and have a drinking session. We will all be vaccinated. Yes! I am so looking forward to that. Can drink, be goofy, spill all the tea. It's gonna be a good time. Yeah, I miss doing that. Oh my god, you know what I saw in my Facebook memories a couple days back? You remember Ratchet Grandpa? Oh, that was so hilarious that day when we went to the park with JD and he was calling you Ratchet Grandpa. Oh, that was so funny. Brian, and watch the stupid cooking channel I can never remember the name of. Oh, How to Basic. Oh my god, I love that YouTube channel. Yeah, I can't wait to hang out with all my friends and just have stupid adventures. Oh, I miss y'all so much. I really, really do. Okay, so I think I missed the tippy top. How did I miss that? Oh my goodness. I missed the tippy top. Gonna get that. There we go. Okay, that line art fixed. There we go. Let's get the shading, get that back on track. Can't believe I almost missed the tippy top, y'all. Brian, Selfie by the Chainsmokers found it. Ah, that's right. Oh my god, I remember that song. I love that song. That song is so funny. I love all the like different spin-off versions that happen because of that song too. I think I still have them in my iTunes. There's the guy version, there's the gay version. Oh my god, they're so funny. I love those songs. That was a good summer. That was a good summer. I remember that summer when that song was really popular. That was a really good year at Pride, too. I remember going to Pride with a bunch of my friends and having just an absolute blast that year, too. It was just a good year all around. This drawing, I'm just loving how it's turning out, y'all. This drawing is just so beautiful. Just get that shine on there. Yes, love it. I love drawing glass. You know what? Actually, we're going to do see-through shine. Get that transparency. Love just adding these last little details. It just makes the drawing. It just really does. Okay. tone down the opacity. Beautiful. Look at that, y'all. Oh, that is gorgeous. I just love that. That is fantastic. Okay, so the canopy is officially all shaded. So we are going to pick one of these centaurs to shade, and then I think that's going to be it for the night. Let's pick these background ones, the small ones. I don't think we have time to finish one of the bigger ones in the foreground. I think I love her. Let's do shading on her. There you go. Do a quick zoom out while I look for this color so that y'all can see all the awesome progress we've made. Oh, that's too yellow. So yeah, she's definitely this one. So we want this for the darker stuff. There we go. But yeah, I'm just so impressed with how this drawing is coming along. It's so beautiful. Let's see, where is the line art for this? Color, musicians, line art. There we go. Want to make sure we're on the right layer. That is a mistake that I do not like making. When you're drawn on the wrong layer, you're gonna have a bad time. That is how that works. The reason why I do this is when I'm doing the color line art and the color blocking, oftentimes what I use for the initial color line art becomes the mid color, and the reason for that is experimenting with the colors and deciding on what looks best, and it's just hard to predict what colors exactly I'm going to use at the end, especially for shading and stuff like that. So it's just easier to do it this way, where I just end up going back over it in order to achieve this better shading effect than trying to guess what I'm going to do in the first place. It's better to just kind of do it as I go, because if I try to plan the drawing too far ahead, that's how you're going to make more mistakes. I mean, for me anyway, this is how I do my process. I'm sure other people plan out their drawings a lot more than I plan out mine. It's just what happens to work for me. Ooh, that is a little bit bright. That is a wee bit bright. There we go. That's less intense. Don't need it to be quite so intense there. It is looking good. Because once we zoom out this far, we want it to have a high enough contrast that we can still see her, but we don't want it to be obnoxious because she is in the background, and we don't want the background to challenge anything in the foreground. We do want the focus to be on the characters that are in the foreground. So that's always an important thing to remember when doing shading with your works, is making sure that the stuff in the background stays in the background sort of thing, because that can be super distracting if you have something that's really high contrast or super detailed in the background, challenging the stuff that you have in the foreground. There we go. That's better. That is better. That shows up much better. And these details are so small, y'all. But details are important. Brian, more coffee. Unfortunately, I can't use that as a solution anymore. That is a very unfortunate thing that I have had to work on this past year. Since I got prescribed my heart pills, my doctor told me that I did have to cut back to having only about 1 cup of coffee a day. And that's it. It's been very hard having to cut back that much and learning to basically live without constant just caffeine coursing through my blood all the time, because that's pretty much what I used to do, is just replace sleep with caffeine. I miss that so much. Coffee is life for real. Coffee has always been life for me. I still have my 1 cup though, and oh my god, do I enjoy that 1 cup. I'm just yep, nobody is allowed to bother me while I have my 1 cup of coffee today. This is my joy. Do not take it away from me or else I will bite you. I would absolutely still be living that life of just the constant coffee if I could. I also am not too keen on having a heart attack in the next 5 to 10 years here, trying to prevent that. So unfortunately, gotta make some sacrifices. And the coffee was the main sacrifice with that. It's also being limited to the pills that I have. They're beta blockers. So basically what they do is they block my adrenal gland. So what that means is if I get startled or mad or have an anxiety attack or something, my body is not triggered to produce adrenaline. So that's also part of why I'm tired all the time, is that like I'm also learning to live without adrenaline. So my main sources of what normally in the past would like keep me awake 24/7 don't have anymore, and my body's slowly learning to figure out how to function without all of that extra help of being awake. Taz, fruits are a good substitute. They are. I've been incorporating more fruit into my daily diet to help with that. And I mean, I love fruit. I've always loved fruit. That eating it has never been a problem for me. The problem is, unfortunately, because the pandemic trashed my finances and all that, I've had to very much limit what kinds of foods I buy at the grocery store. So I have to buy stuff that lasts longer. And I've only recently kind of started incorporating fruit back into my diet just because it is expensive and it doesn't keep. Fruit is only good for like a couple of days before it starts going bad. Yeah, it's just been a struggle all around. I'm just so on board the like the always tired bus, as you can see. It's also, I know my blood sugar is dropping because after the 9 o'clock live stream with y'all is when I usually eat dinner. So my body is also kind of like, where is my food? I need some food. So that's also part of why I'm yawning so much. Taz, I don't eat them enough, no, so ignore me. No, it's very good advice. As Alice says, I give myself very good advice, even though I seldom follow it. It is a lot easier to give advice than to follow it. It is very true. But yeah, that is something that I would like to get back on in the future, is just having more fruit in my diet, because I do enjoy fruit. I enjoy it very much. My favorites are mango and strawberries. Those are definitely like two of my favorite things. I love those so much. Not really a big fan of grapes. Like, grapes are okay. Like, I don't hate them. It's just that if I were to pick something at the grocery store, I'm not immediately gonna be like grabbing some grapes. Although every once in a while in the summer, the grocery store sometimes has champagne grapes, and y'all, those are so good. They're a pain in the to eat because they're like teeny tiny. But oh man, those grapes are so delicious. I really enjoy them. I'm more of a fan of the really sweet fruit like berries and stuff, like strawberries and blackberries and blueberries. All of the berries. So delicious, so good. More red. That's too red. I think this is her brown here. So we're just going to go ahead. We're on layer 20. Put this here. I actually was like a really weird kid growing up in that I never had any problems with eating fruits and vegetables. I totally ate broccoli and peas and Brussels sprouts and all that stuff. And I actually I like vegetables like even today, and I don't need like copious amounts of like butter or cheese or flavoring or whatever to eat them. Like, I'm not like a giant health nut or anything like that. It's more so that just like I recognize that I have a lot of health issues, but like they're the kind of health issues where they're just like annoying. They impact my daily life, but like I'm not gonna like die. Like, I'm not gonna have anything like seriously impact me. It just means that I have to be more careful about like what I eat and stuff. But even before that was kind of my life where I had to be more conscientious of food that I eat and stuff like that. Even then, like, I don't know, I've just always kind of gravitated toward healthy food, fruits and vegetables and stuff like that. But I mean, I was right there with like all the other kids eating Gushers and fruit roll-ups, and I mean, Pringles are still one of my favorite snacks. Pringles and pistachios. Those are my favorite snacks to munch on while I'm working and stuff like that. So there's plenty of not healthy stuff that I eat that I'm just like, I'm not one of those crazy health nut people that's like only organic and blah 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 and all that stuff. Like, no. Life's too short. Eat the cookie. That's pretty much how I live my life. It's more so that I just try to be conscientious of my eating just for the sake of not irritating my health issues and making my daily life any more complicated or difficult than it needs to be, is kind of the deal there. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of, I forgot the last part of that quote. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of, you know what that quote is. You know what I mean. Robin Masterson. Hey Brian, welcome back to the States. Yes, it would be great to get together. Looking forward to meeting Maria. I have family in Peoria, so I'm familiar with the area. I'm from a neighboring town, Galesburg. If you're up for a drive, check out the shops and the Landmark Cafe on Seminary Street. Oh, Absolutely, absolutely. Oh my God. I love Galesburg. I love the Landmark Cafe. Oh, that's the area that I talk about here on my channel, y'all. When I talk about the family farm, it's in Galesburg. That's where it's at. If y'all need some like geography on where this stuff is that I'm always talking about, like that's where it is. It's in Galesburg. Taz, am I the only one who hates frozen fruit? I like frozen fruit, not so much to just straight up eat it, just because I do have teeth sensitivity, like cold, super cold stuff hurts my teeth. But I do like to make smoothies with it. Like I love tossing, like in the summertime, tossing some like frozen fruit and yogurt and juice into a blender. Like, oh, that is just the y'all. Love that. Love making smoothies. My absolute favorite thing was back when I lived with the boys, when I lived with my ex-boyfriend and my couple of friends who they were a gay couple. We had a garden. We had like this big, big back porch and we had like a full garden on it. It was just so much fun. I miss those days so much. And we had like all these fresh herbs back there. And my favorite thing was to just pluck a few leaves of basil and throw them into like a strawberry smoothie. Oh, just so delicious, y'all. Love that so much. So good, so fresh. Like I am absolutely that chick who loves hitting up Jamba Juice. Like I know they're like so full of sugar and they're like not as healthy as they claim to be, and I don't care. Like I'm not there because I'm like, ooh, I want to get a healthy smoothie. I'm there because I'm like, I like smoothies. Like if something is healthy, like that's great and that's awesome, but that's not like my only reason for like consuming food. Like, does it taste good? Yes. Then I am on board for this. Alrighty, it is 9:02, but I'm gonna make sure we finish her off. We just have to do her hooves. Cute little hooves here. It is amazing how fast this time just flies by, y'all, when I'm chatting and streaming with y'all, whether we're playing a video game or we're drawing or whatever. It always impresses me how it just goes by so fast. It's crazy. Okay, y'all. So I want to thank y'all so much for tuning in tonight and hanging out with me. And I mean, look at all this progress we made tonight. Oh my God, this drawing is just so amazing, y'all. I really, really think next Saturday, this is going to be it, y'all. I think next Saturday is when we're going to finish this drawing and being with me on this journey. So I hope y'all have a great night, or depending on your time zone, you have a great day. And of course, as always, don't forget self-care, be kind to yourself, and I will see you later. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.